Welcome to another edition of the Mike Cruz Unadulterated Podcast. Today's special guest, we have Miss Kristine Fitzpatrick, founder, executive director of League of Yes.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. See, League of Yes, basketball and
Baseball. Yeah.
Disabled kids?
Yep.
Okay.
We call them kids with all abilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 locations on Long Island.
We do. So we have, we actually have 2 fields in Suffolk County. So we have one field that is an asphalt field, which is great for kids in walkers and wheelchairs. And right next to that field, we have a synthetic turf field, and that's where our skills kids play. And in Nassau County, what's really cool is the field there I designed because I was working for a synthetic turf company at the time. So I designed that field myself personally. And so that is an all-accessible synthetic turf field, and it's one of the first ones that we've had on Long Island that is just for children with disabilities.
So now the disabilities, it can range from wheelchairs, non-functional individuals and stuff. So it's open to everybody.
That's why we're the League of Yes. As silly as that sounds, we're the League of Yes because we don't say no. It doesn't matter what your age is or what your ability or disability is. It doesn't matter to us.
And you're going, I just saw 15 years anniversary.
15 years.
Congratulations.
Oh
I saw
gosh.
15 years.
Yeah, that snuck up on us. It's very, very exciting because, you know, we're a grassroots program. And what we've been able to do in these past 15 years on a shoestring budget, changing so many lives has been, it's been basically a program from God, to be honest with you. Just the way things have unfolded in these past 15 years, it's been nothing but one miracle after another.
So originally you were part of another organization.
I was.
Okay, and that was up in Westchester?
That was in, Westchester. You're so good. You've done your research.
I do homework.
You really do. So that started out, so that was the Miracle League. And the Miracle League is actually all over the United States. So I was asked to be on a board up in Westchester. So at that time, that was my territory when I was selling the synthetic turf, these big $1 million fields. So I did it because I wanted to get to know the parks commissioner. You know, being a true salesperson and all about networking, I did not understand where my journey was going to go after volunteering there. First play of the game was, it just changed everything in my life. And a boy by the name of Julian, that'll be the name of my book someday, a boy named Julian. And so he got up to bat. He has cerebral palsy. He is nonverbal. And his aide, which I understand that now, 15 years later, I thought it was his mom, rolled him up to bat. And he has a wheelchair that has a desk on top of it. And there's a yes and a no index card. And she said, if you ask him a question, he can answer you by his eyes. And she's like, don't expect much from him. He doesn't have facial expressions. And I'm just standing there like, yeah, okay, I'm really just here to meet the guy over there, the parks commissioner. So they put him up to bat. His volunteer just tapped the ball off the tee, got behind his wheelchair, and ran like a bat out of hell. And just ran this kid around first, second, third. From third to home is when it all changed. I witnessed the most amazing smile I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so happy I can get through that statement without crying because I've told this story a million times. And the hair on the back of my neck still stands up because it just literally just shocked me in the heart. And this kid's smile was from ear to ear. And I turned around and I looked at his aide and I said, do not tell me that this child doesn't have facial expressions. He just hasn't been happy. And so when I was driving home that day with my 2 children who were miracles, I had ovarian cancer when I was younger. So my oldest son, for me, even to have a child was a miracle. And then my youngest is another miracle. I adopted him. So I'm driving home with these 2 great, healthy children. And it just kept flashing back in my head, seeing this kid. And I'm like, can you imagine going through your whole entire life, basically just being a shell, in the respect of when you have cerebral palsy, you understand everything, but you can't articulate how you're feeling or anything. And it just like, I truly was heartbroken. I really was.
You know, sometimes you see like it takes a certain individual to bring something out of a child, whether it's a teacher, a friend, a relative. They bring a certain quality out of the kids. And when you see it, it's an amazing sight to see. And that's what you had to feel that when that happened.
Yeah.
And unique thing with you, when I was reading about you also, is your children not disabled. Like a lot of times, a lot of these people who start these organizations, they have disabled children.
Yeah.
And so that one thing, when
Changed
you saw
me.
that, changed your whole outlook.
It did. I get asked that question all the time. All the time. People will start out like, what does your child have? And I'm like, I don't have a child with a special need. They're like, why are you doing this? And honestly, because I can.
Yeah.
I can. You don't have the time to do it. You know, you're busy taking your children to different doctors every day, getting them to programs, getting them to school, then, you know, you having to have to work, and then you come home and there's so much, the parents never get a break. So I was able to do it. They wouldn't have been able to pull this off. And, you know, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, everybody shows up on a Saturday, and I laugh because some people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know, how do you get all these volunteers? They just show up. I'm like, yeah, they don't just show up. It's a lot of work to get all these kids within the community to show up. But it's my pleasure. And honestly, it's my calling. It's my purpose. And I know it is. And
that's amazing. That's such a great story when you hear it, because it's such a special quality that someone has when you can bring that out in a child. Yeah. I say all the time. Now, your 15-year anniversary, I also read online you had a very special coach who you guys put online, Rob Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that about him.
We call him Rob Bob. So, he passed away earlier this year. You know, our program, we're just not about baseball. Like, we've become such a family, and we just love on each other so much. It really has. And so Rob, his wife Mary, heard about us starting this program over 15 years ago, and so she sent them to my house. I just threw it out there if anybody wants to come over and be a part. So I'm not going to confirm nor deny there may have been a lot of Chardonnay going on at that moment when Rob showed up. And so he comes into a house full of girls that have been drinking wine. That's enough said. And so we threw him on T-shirts and made him fold like 300 T-shirts. And so the next day, we couldn't remember if his name was Rob or Bob. So I named him Rob Bob, and that stuck. But what a beautiful soul. And he was on our team. He was a coach. His son, Nicholas, has cerebral palsy. So and Nick now is a coach, so he doesn't play anymore, but he's a bossy boots. He's a coach, and he's great. And his son Zach has stepped into his spot as a coach. But we put his initials on all of our jerseys this year. So we dedicated the whole season to Rob. We love him, and he is so missed.
That's amazing. So now the volunteer aspect of it. So people. Where do the majority come from? Are they referrals? Like the kids, they find a program through the kids and the parents thought?
No, not at all.
Really?
I'm teasing you. The volunteers come from years of me knocking on doors, me going to school districts, speaking 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock at night. I've gone as far as to an athletic directors conference in Albany. I've spoken in front of Section 11 athletic directors. I'll speak in front of coaches. And so throughout the years, we have schools that are slotted in every year, like St. John's University. Go Johnnies. I'm an alum. I was an athlete there and a coach, so I'm still very involved in the athletic department. So every year, St. John's baseball comes down. That is the highlight when the St. John's baseball comes. Service Day, we get over 200 students that come. Schools like Port Chaff every single year, Satram baseball every single year. So we have people that consistently come back. Like we're already almost completely full for fall right now. Stony Brook, hockey, I can go on that come and volunteer. And the funny thing is, and I'm saying the funny thing because I really want to say it hurts my feelings that I have coaches now come and they're bringing their students and then they say these words to me. Oh, Kristine, we came here when we were in high school. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's been that long. I just feel old, but it's awesome. It really is awesome when I hear that they were so impacted when they were student athletes in high school or junior high. And now they're coaches and they're paying it forward by bringing their players to come and volunteer.
And the locations, I guess, wherever the volunteers are closer to, is that where they tend to go to volunteer? They do.
Yeah. It depends. So Nassau County, the field is at Eisenhower Park, and that's in Westbury, East Meadow. So we'll stick to, the school districts that are around that area, and the same thing out in Suffolk County. So, and then, the children, when they, come to the league, they have a choice depending on where they live, where they want to go. So if you're like in Islip or Huntington, it's your choice if you want to drive to, because that's kind of like right in the middle. So if you want to drive to Eisenhower versus coming out to Farmingville, it's their choice.
And a lot of it's donation based, like a lot of donations people have.
Yeah, we're all donations. So we're not a regular program that's ran through OPWDD, which I don't want to get into all that stuff, but there's a lot of programs that are ran through the state. Ours is not. So I would love to get to that point. So we are based on, mostly volunteers and grants.
Yeah.
As well. Like
I saw online, you have two fundraisers coming up. You have one October 3rd.
Yep.
And October 26th.
Yep.
October 3rd is the beach.
So October 3rd is kind of cool. This is the first time we're doing this. We're doing Bike to the Beach.
Bike to the Beach.
So, of course, me being me, instead of these kids having to have to sign up, it does 150 or 25. So this is a national program, Bike to the Beach. So I'm like, can we do 2 miles? And the woman's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, there's a marina right before Smith's Point Beach.
Okay.
And I would love to do a 2-mile bike ride. This way I can get my kids to participate, that they can come and either walk or ride their bikes or ride their trikes. And I can get my volunteers that can help them. So it's a bike to the beach, but it could also be a roll to the beach or a stroll to the beach. So they're allowing me to do it.
So that's going to be in Suffolk County? That's
going to be in Suffolk County.
Okay.
That's on October 3rd. So all of our volunteers, if you're listening out there, come on down, start a team up of your own. It's definitely about, raising funds, but it's really about raising awareness. Because I can't believe, even after 15 years, we're still getting new players that the parents are like, where have you been?
Wow.
Like, we've been here the whole time. Where have you been? Wow. That they haven't, heard about us. So a lot of it is word of mouth. I mean, social media is phenomenal. Didn't have that when we first started, and we certainly didn't have the funding either. To really get the word out. So the majority of it has been word of mouth.
And October 26th is...
That's our golf outing. Thank you for saying that. So
outing.
Here's the cool thing is you just had Rob Esposito on your show. So he is our honoree for the golf outing this year. Yeah.
That. Another thing, Rob doesn't have any special needs children either. He just felt in his heart when I talked to him.
Yeah.
When he talked about it, he lit up.
Yeah.
He lit up over it, and you just saw his face.
Yeah.
When he talked about
You
it.
can't help it. Like, once you come down to the field, you're hooked. I can talk about it until I'm blue in the face. I can show you videos, but once you come down and you experience the energy, it's completely like you're in awe. So when Rob first came down to the field, he was like, dude, Dude, I'm like, I know. I have music blaring. And, of course, I'm always running around. I pick on everybody. Good picking on. And there's just so much joy and happiness and laughter. It's 2 hours of just so much fun. You know, if you can take those 2 hours out on a Saturday, I don't make a commitment in the respect of people are like, oh, you should have the kids have to sign up for 6 weeks. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. You're not going to get a kid to commit for 6 weeks. That's, 15 or 16 years old. And they said, and besides that, it's going to be more work for me. But the more people that come through this program and they get to see the life of a child with a special need, it's a game changer. It truly is. So I want more and more. I don't want the same person. I can't get rid of some of them. Keep coming back. I'm like, what are you doing? You were just here last week.
Now, is it a weekly program? Is it weekly?
Is.
It is. So both locations are weekly?
Oh, yeah.
Really? So
yes.
You have
got
both
it all
locations
going
at the same
on.
time.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. So we do 6 weeks in the spring and 6 weeks in the fall. I just had somebody that was in one of my networking groups come down to check out the field. And he's like, oh, my goodness, this is so much fun. He's like, so what do you do this like once a year? And I'm like, no, dude, this goes on every single week. I go twice. He's like, what do you mean twice? I said, there's the same program going on right now in Nassau County. Wow. Yeah. So, and it's not all me. So let me just be super duper clear. I'm just the one with the idea. I have amazing people that are on my executive team that execute all of this, that show up every Saturday, help me check in the kids and set the field up. We have to set the field up and break it down every single Saturday. So I've had people that have been with me for the past 15 years, dear friends that still volunteer their time. And without them, we're nothing. Yeah. So I do not take credit. I'm just the crazy one with the idea and the energy and really good talker because I rope them all in. So other than that, we would be nowhere without them.
So yeah, I saw it online. I saw your team. That's impressive. I saw the videos with the kids in a wheelchair playing baseball and going around the bases and the buddy system. I read about the buddy system. Tell us about the buddy system.
So the buddies that's really important to me personally. So buddy stands for because unbelievable dedication deserves you. And we have had over 12,000 volunteers come to this program. If we didn't have COVID, we'd probably be at over 14,000. It's a silent way, and I don't promote this, but getting a typical child to come down to the field, it breaks the barrier of bullying. Because once they work with a child with a special need, they understand that this child didn't ask for this. And also, these kids just want to be kids. They want to play. They want friendships. That's all they want. They're so innocent. Yeah. So when you volunteer and you leave that field, it changes you. And it's amazing.
It's got to be a great feeling when you see the parents.
Yeah.
Like when they see their child doing that and they think it's unimaginable for that child to do that. And they see the kid's face and then the parents' face. Yeah. That's a blessing. Yeah. That's a blessing on its own. And I keep saying until you've been in that situation, you really don't know how it is. But when you see it and it's someone else's child and you feel it and you feel the family, and it's a great thing what you guys do. It's unbelievable, and I've been such a fan since I started reading it. Like I told you, we had the conversation. Kids are the biggest soft spot in my heart. They are, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the League of Yes, like I keep reading about it and I see this stuff. What's the future for League of Yes? What's the next step, you think?
So the next step, thank you for asking, little setup there, is we're for the first time having a recreational program this summer. I've never done anything in the summertime. I've always been afraid of the heat and children that have seizures. So what we're going to do, mostly because what we do in the wintertime with basketball and watching our skills players, they love the game. But they never have a place to go to, right? So if you go to a park, you can have a pickup game with somebody.
Yeah.
My kids can't.
Yeah.
Because if they go to a park and they try and play, they're going to get made fun of or they're going to get hurt. So this is the first time we're transforming our field. As we speak, they're painting pickleball on one side of our field, and then the town of Brookhaven is also giving us portable basketball hoops. So we're going to start doing a recreational program, and what that means is anybody can come down between 6 and 8 o'clock. Of course, we're going to have a sign up. Just don't show up. So, we have to have waiver, sign, and the whole kit and caboodle. But it's not going to be a scheduled in the respect of when we're playing baseball every week, you're getting a roster, what time you're playing, what you need to do. This is going to be a safe place for the people that I absolutely love and adore to enjoy sports, enjoy a park without feeling like they could be in a hostile environment.
And you see the growth with the children. Like you see the growth of every year. You see new children coming in.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You do.
I've seen kids, because again, 15. I've had kids that started at 10 that are 25. And the transformation I've seen over the years, I could tell you just one quick story, which is one of my favorites. And this also includes, about the parents. So I have no education in the special needs world at all. I didn't go to college for it. And so the parents love that about us, all of us that are on my board and our executive team. None of us have the special needs education. So we treat them just like typical kids. And so anyway, this boy, Zachary's on the spectrum. He turned 18 years old, I believe. And so I grabbed the mic. There's 200 people there. I'm like, Zach, and I pull him out. Everybody's around home playing. I'm like, all right, we're going to sing happy birthday to Zach. So we start singing. It's so loud, and Zach is standing there, and he's just loving every second. I turn around and look at his mother, and she's bawling her eyes out. And so I went over to her afterwards, and I was like, Jessica, did I do something wrong? She said, Kristine, we've never been able to sing happy birthday to him. Every time we try to sing him happy birthday, he sticks his fingers in his ears and he starts screaming and he starts rocking. We've never been able to do this before. And I was like, wow. That's just the magic that happens with the community of our program. So, we have so many great stories that I could tell you from a parent's point of view. Yeah. It's been really cool. Parents' point of view, siblings' point of view. I had a sibling write us. I sent out a survey one day because I'm like, I don't want to hear how great I am. I want to hear how terrible I am. Tell me what am I missing? I want to run this where it's going to be run professionally, but more importantly, I want it to run well and for, us to, really make an impact. So thank you. Yes, it's great, but tell me what's wrong. So anyway, this one sibling, she emailed me back, and the subject line was the perspective from a sibling. And so very long story short, her brother, James, very low functioning, autistic, nonverbal. He can be violent. All her life, she denied him as a sibling. So when people asked her, oh, do you have a brother or a sister? She's like, no, I'm an only child. And after coming down to the league and meeting other siblings that had a brother or have a brother or a sister that's has a special need, she said, now I'm completely proud that I have a brother on the spectrum. And she started coming down and actually working with him and volunteering. And I was just like, wow. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see a lot of this stuff coming, at all. Parents have become best friends. I had 3 moms spin off to do their own nonprofit. I helped them through the steps. It has just been so many blessings. It really has.
It touches so many people, not just the children playing, the parents, the coaches, the buddies, even like you said, the people who donated, like the turf and stuff like that. So many people get involved, especially with children. Yeah. We talked about that before, especially when it comes to children. Children are the best judgers, I say, of people.
Yeah.
Kids know good people. they're attracted to good people. They want to be around good people. Animals and children, no good people.
Yeah.
You know, and
funny.
it's a funny thing because, you know, kids are so special. People don't realize until, like I said, until you go to the League of Yes to watch the program, how it works, till you feel how blessed you are to be in your situation.
Yep.
Now, with you with the sports, now let's get into a little bit with you now. We just found out an interesting fact. We have a professional football player also. So that's a big
Long
thing.
time ago. Yeah,
Okay.
that was fun. I've been a tomboy my whole entire life. I was a gymnast when I was younger. I was a big softball player. That was my love. I was a catcher, so I have a really good arm. And I won't even get into the whole big story, but when I was at my junior college, SUNY Delhi, the track coach saw me having a catch one day, and he came up to me and he's like, "Oh, I'd love for you to be on my track team." I'm like, "No, I don't want to run. I don't want to." He's like, "No, I want to try something else." And he put a javelin in my hand. Yeah. And I started breaking crazy records. I got picked up by St. John's University. And when I was a high jump and a javelin thrower, I still have the record there. And so throwing a javelin is the same technique also as throwing a football, too. So I've always been a football fan. So I played one time for the New York Gems. I got the crap kicked out of me, but I got to. That's
a great story.
Yeah. Yeah, I hung
great.
my cleats up after. I'm like, I'm good. That's
and we just seen your office with the golf clubs.
Yeah.
See the golf stuff. We saw that in there.
I love to golf. Yeah.
And a little acting we heard.
We
heard
some
acting went on in
not
your
like
career.
you.
No,
Background.
You were running people over though.
I did. I ran Mel Gibson and Gary Sinise's over.
And Ransom.
Ransom.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a little fired up.
Okay.
So when they yelled background action
you took off?
Being a track athlete at that time and excited, very competitive, and
everything kicked in.
They were not ready for me when I came. I'm like, I don't know why they were on the floor, Ron Howard. I'm like, they should have moved. But
that's great.
Obviously I don't do that.
No, but that's a great story. That's a great story for people to hear because that's what happens on sets.
Yeah,
that's what happens. And you know, like we were talking about, like it's so unique when you see the behind the scenes stuff.
I love the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like it's addicting. I tell people it's addicting. Once you get a taste of it, it's a good addiction to have. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one.
Yep.
And like the League of Yes with these volunteers, it's got to be addicting.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, they come back every year. So many of the kids, and I love to see that. You know, that they're so dedicated. But you know, you also asked me earlier, you know, what's next for the League of Yes. What's really cool, and I'm going to bring Rob up again, working for Rob at Relocators and his big heart is he's allowing me to start my own inclusive workforce. And what that means is I will be able to do a job training program with my kids that have aged out of school and that don't go to a day program but want to work. So they'll work with me in my office. I already have a program set up. We have a job already in August. We're going to be moving the library books from Amityville Library. This is about 15,000 books, and this is a perfect job, especially for young adults on the autism spectrum, because it's just 25 books into the box. It's the same repetitive, and that's what they need. But what I'm really excited about is I can't wait for them to do the unboxing. So because of their, meticulous to detail, and for them to be putting the books back on there. So I'm really excited for the future.
Yeah, like we were talking before about, special needs people in the workforce. Like I told you, I go to Home Depot and I see them put a special needs person in a position where it's almost like you're setting them up to fail.
Yeah.
Like, and it bothers me. That just really, it bothers me because that person's so unique and has a certain talent that they're not utilizing it the correct way.
Right.
And with you, and I just saw what you had in your office, the planner, how you have it set up with the books, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagrams for everybody.
Yep.
It's amazing because it changes people's lives.
Absolutely.
You know,
and by the way, they're great workers.
100%.
They are so focused. They are so dedicated. They're so prideful. And they're just really hard workers. It's amazing. So for anybody listening out there that owns a company and you're looking for some workers, you should really give them a try. And I think a lot of people don't understand within businesses that you can reach out to, like Peoples of Arc in Suffolk. I do a lot of work with them. And you could do a job training where you can grab a couple participants once or twice a week. And you could work with them for a couple weeks before they actually come in and you start paying them. So they can do an on-site job training, and it's not costing you any money, to train them. And then whatever ones can make it to the threshold that you're looking for, then you can hire them. And you can utilize these day hab programs as an employee pool. They're not looking to become, some of them will want to become full-times, but they have to be careful with their budgets as well. But they're phenomenal workers. So
when do you think you start this program? When are you launching?
We're going to start in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. It's all happening so quickly. Now that we're done with 4th of July, I'm waiting for one more thing, and then I'm meeting with Peoples of Arc next week, and we're going to start. And actually, Rob already has offered up that he wants to hire a couple people to come here, not even about the moving part for me, but to work here around the warehouse and maybe do some data entry and stuff like that. So I got him hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
It didn't take much for him, by the way.
Nah, he's a big guy with a big heart.
But he's a softie.
Yeah, that guy's got a big body, big heart. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. I like that.
Yeah. So, League of Yes. Now, let's get back to the 2 dates you have. October 3rd. So if anybody wants to be involved, the 2 dates, how would they do that?
So just really simple. It's on our website, which is leagueofyes.org, or it's even leagueofyes.com. So we got you covered either way. And everything is right on the website. It's on the homepage. You could look at our stuff there. We have social media. I'm not really good at it, but we have social media. So we do have an Instagram. I'm a little bit older, so I fall into that Facebook world that we have stuff out there. But the website is really the easy. You'll get the most information there. My phone number's on there. Okay. And my email address, and Greg Cook as well. He's my right-hand man. I wouldn't be able to do this without him. Let me just make sure I say that. So all the information will be there. Would love for, anybody that are golfers. We're playing at Muttontown this year, which is a really beautiful golf course. It's late October, so I personally love fall golf. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
And both dates, they can go right online?
Online.
Both
Register.
Dates.
Yeah.
And now, as far as the work program, same thing. Can they go online?
So the work program, not yet, because this is a pilot program. So that's why I'm starting with my kids and Suffolk's People of Arc, because it's a pilot program. So I want to run it through people that I know and that I'm comfortable with the participants and their families and what the expectations are. Because when I started doing the candles, all of a sudden parents are calling me like, I want my kid to work there. And I'm like, but nobody's buying the candles. And they're like, but I want my kids to work there. I'm like, but nobody's buying the candles. So I need to sell the candles first. So, it's the chicken or the egg. Yeah. So if we start out slow, and then we're going to build upon the program. And that's how League of Yes started too. When we first started it, it was something that I knew nothing about. I knew nothing about nonprofits at all. I wanted to give myself 2 years to go back to school. But Town of Brookhaven was like, nope, I got a field for you. They gave us money to start the program. And the Parks Commissioner was like, don't let me down, kid. And I was like, great, I don't know what I'm doing. So look at what happened. 15 years later, we're all over the island because we tried. So we're going to try this as a pilot program, and I know we're going to grow.
And you had a great face for it because you network so much. Like you have to be places. You have to meet people. You have to put yourself in positions. Yeah. I agree. Anything else you want to tell the people about the League of Yes?
League of Yes, come on down. If you're listening and you have a child that you don't think can play baseball, I'm going to challenge you. Come down. Do not pay. It's not a lot of money. It's a $150 registration fee, but you get a uniform and a trophy. And but I will scholarship you. If you don't think that your child can play, I will challenge you to come down to the field and let's see. Let's see, because you don't know unless they try.
And you'll see a difference in your child.
Absolutely.
And you'll see a difference in yourself.
Yeah.
Kristine, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're an amazing guest.
Fun.
This is an amazing program.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.